Hey guys, I just wanted to jump on here real quick. I've been so encouraged lately, finding so much hope in the midst of a lot of chaos over the last year. And as I was just kind of praying this morning and thinking in terms of, what the last year has represented for me and what this new year really has in store, it really made me think that, the future is really determined by our actions. Each day we have a choice to get up and do what we're going to do. And we can make that day either a success or a failure. And really reminds me of it was an old story that we used in debate a long time ago about an old wise man. And the story kind of goes that there was once an old wise man, and he lived atop a village, and he knew the answer to every question that someone would bring him. And there was a young arrogant man in the village below that always tried to trick the wise man, and he would ask him a question to try to trick him, and he never was able to succeed. And one day he decided that he was going to take a bird in his hands up to the old man and ask him, "Is the bird in my hands dead or alive?" And, if the old man answered alive, he would crush the bird and prove the old man wrong. If the old man answered dead, he would open his hands and let the bird fly freely. And so finally the day arrived when he went up to the old man, and he sternly looked at him and said, "Old man, is the bird in my hands dead or alive?" And the old man just smiled at him, and he said, "Old man, is the bird in my hands dead or alive?" And the old man stood and smiled and said, "The answer is in your hands." And so the point of the story, right, is that we have the ability within ourselves. We have one of the greatest gifts that has ever been given in Jesus Christ. And to not share that is to do the world a disservice. When you find something that is powerful, you share it. And that's kind of where I am with the weight journey. I've been sharing it and I've got a lot of feedback. It's probably, I would say, the second most. The pastor friend who shared it with me said it'll be just as powerful to you as sharing the gospel. And I kind of laughed because I was not believing that at all. And it has become that. I want to share it with other people simply because it has done so much for me, not only in my weight loss and my physical body, but just the confidence. They described the system as this transformational system, and it really has been transformational for me. It helps me shape my mind and focus my thoughts. Getting healthier has been able, I've been able to do things I haven't been able to do in 5+ years. And, it made me think in terms of, Oscar Wilde's quote, that most men, lead lives of quiet desperation. Or I guess that's Thoreau. Most men lead lives of quiet desperation. And then that kind of goes hand in hand with what Oscar Wilde said, which is that, to live is the rarest thing in the world. Most people just exist. And I think that's where we as Christians and we who have found something that the world can really benefit from have got to not keep that to ourselves. We have to share it with other people. There's a huge part of our being that is fearful of that, to believe that, people, are skeptical. We live in one of the most skeptical times in our lives in the world today. But that skepticism doesn't mean that we're still not obligated to tell people, whether that's about Christ or whether that's about something else that could benefit them. The the thing that I think most people are looking for is they're looking for real, right? They're looking for someone that's real. They're looking for something that they can believe in. And when you have that inside of you, you tell other people. And so that's my morning encouragement to you, is that if you have, Jesus Christ in you, tell other people. If you find something that works, that can help other people transform their lives who've struggled with weight, you tell them. You don't become scared. You don't become fearful of that. You continue to tell people. And when you tell people, you never stop telling people, because they'll tell people. And that's the power of community, right? That is the power of community, in that when we share our story, whether that's our faith in Jesus Christ, whether that's our, hey everybody, it's so good to see some people joining. It changes not only your perspective, but it can change other people. And so that's my encouragement this morning, is that you just never get tired of telling your story, because ultimately your story is God's story, right? We're all part of this great, magnificent journey called life. We're all separated by, very few things. In the Christian world, sometimes we can let our opinions override what our true essentials are. And I think that's when, we come to a point where we get confused, is making those opinions more valid than, the essentials that really draw us together. And that's true in our society right now. So that's my encouragement, guys. I hope that it means something for you, and appreciate you tuning in. Thanks.